Hi, this is IK rendering second explanation, second time, explanation second time. Application, what I explained in last video, I want to explain again. More patient, more detail, better than before. Because when I listening myself in the last video, I see that it can be very, very confused. Beginners who is not yet confident in yourself. Here is, we have app topic application, the topic component, and the topic component is a mother of two child components. Two child component, BPML, blog post menu left, and BPM, blog post menu left. Okay, again, child component are blog post menu left and component blog post menu. And look at how it is when we open our application. In every component, below declination of state posts, I write console log. It means console log of that state post. It means that every time component rendering, I will see in console, after press keyboard F12, I will see console log of post. Every rendering will show in console, console will show state post value. If it is empty, or it is empty array, or it is full array. It is in all three, app.js, bpml.js, bpm.js. It is excellent thing that to see how many times have been rendered every component, how many times, and we must now explain that what we see, because we are times of rendering is in our control, and if we're not satisfied with the times of rendering, we can intervene and reduce that time. In this situation, I'm satisfied with the rendering. This code is excellent, clean, and we will see that. Okay, when I start application, when I start application, I refresh that I see that. I have right side open F12 and I see console. I see three rendering, initial rendering. Before I have alert, blog post menu left. I code alert below use effect. I write alert in body of arrow function of use effect, parameter of use effect. It means it is a real finished rendering, because first rendering is initial rendering, and never go in use effect. After finished initial rendering, we have event component did mount, and that event start use effect. And in that use effect, we'll see alert at first. We'll see alert, and we have that alert. It will see alert before other code. It means that we see alert before to see result of asynchron contact mock server. And here we have alert blog post menu left finished rendering. Okay, it is finished rendering. It means that blog post menu left go through initial and now is again re-rendered because of use effect, own use effect. Okay. Okay. Before I accept alert and go ahead, I want to say something else. Here is visible that we have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rendering. That we have every component 2 times rendering. It is 6, but up to rendering. BPML 4 rendering. BPML 1, 2, 3, 4 rendering. It is a 6, and BPM 2 rendering. 2 rendering is normal because every component must have initial rendering, and after that use effect. Again, use effect start re-rendering. Use effect we use for take data, for get data from mock server or from props. It means that 3 component must have, if every component have use effect, like here, must have 2 rendering. Why BPML blog post menu left have 4 rendering. 4 rendering. We will. I now explain first time, and may me repeat if I see that I need repeat. Here you see component and the order of rendering and state post empty in first 4 rendering different component. We have empty array. Rendering when we start application, like as we see in index.js, we start home page, and it is app.js at first, and child BPML and BPML and BPM. And the child, there is about 2 child, and rendering means first initial rendering. Go from app and show app state is empty console of empty array. that initial value go further and have child BPML and start initial rendering BPML. That initial rendering means don't touch use effect, initial rendering. And in that rendering, state of post is empty array also. We will have data, we will have a full only after use effect. Now, no use effect, only initial rendering. There is no post. After BPML initial rendering, we have blog post BPM rendering. You take care. We don't stop. We go from top to bottom of up component. And we go to first child BPML, go through initial rendering, but not stop and use, no. Go ahead and have an outlook. And in that outlook, when you look at an index, we have a BPM. BPM component start initial. And of course, state is 0. And it is finished initial rendering of app component. Initial rendering. We have 3, 4, and now, okay. It is app BPM, mel BPM. It is 3 initial rendering and finished initial rendering of app. And now, don't go back to use effect of app. No, because child must be first finished rendering. And go back, rendering, go back to BPML. First child in code. And now it is after initial rendering, it is component did mount, finished rendering, start use effect. And in that use effect, BPML create ordered list descending from post, but post is empty because must be use effect of app. That BPML there is post. No, BPML use effect try to produce order list. There is no post, and we have again BPML. You look at BPML. This is BPML. This is location about what I spoke. BPML use effect empty post. In BPML, there is nothing. And after that, of course, rendering go down in second component. It is a BPM, it is a child component, and use effect, because initial rendering finished, and now we have use effect. And that use effect, BPM, take asynchronous data from a mock server, not depend about post of app parent component, but have open asynchronous connection to mock server and give result. BPM, here it is. BPM have a full array. Have full array. And now what we have again up use effect. Up use effect have a full array because connect mock server and get data from mock server full array. It will be what we see on the console, full array. And again, up go use effect means rendering complete up must be again rendered complete up because now we have full array, we have changed and full array go through up. It means BPML would be next would be next in up. It is child what we rendering, but how it is possible? BPML who depend about post from up, and post from up is full. We show that console full, but BPML is empty array. How it is possible? And why? We have again BPML use effect. And now is full. Why we have not immediately this rendering full? Because up is full. My only explanation is because of asynchronous contact mock server. Up use effect full, asynchronous connection of up to mock server take times, but synchron process not waiting. It is important that a synchronized process go ahead and parallel with asynchronous process. And it means that BPML start a use effect before to see full array of up. But when that and because of that BPML don't use effect in this time because have not changes in post. BPML go without use effect because for BPML don't see up full list what is in process, not finished yet. BPML go like initial rendering, only rendering without calling use effect, because use effect have dependent from a post and post not change because BPML don't see that changes because changes not happened yet. BPML go through rendering without use effect. But when finished that rendering, post is visible and BPML dependent about post in up activate use effect. Use effect dependency is post, and that post is visible and BPML use effect and have a full list, full empty. Here is last BPML rendering. And it is the reason that BPML, because of dependency about app, and because of don't see momentary full array of app, have for rendering two more than we expected. I hope that it is a better explanation than in last video yesterday. And now I want to show you index.js and ordering of rendering. This is index.js, and I don't need this. It is from before application. And when application start, a root object call method render, and in method rendering parameter, we code how we want rendering, how we want that rendering happen. And here it means that root this is for address, domain address, we start rendering app, topic application. Because here is no closed root, element root, React element root. It is open. It means that all root inside this open root and closed root. This is closed root, and I see two root. That two root is said as what element would be child of app component? What component would be child of app component? And we see here that in index, blog post menu, BPM, blog post menu, is a child through outlet. But BPML, blog post menu left, is on app component always. Because of that, don't need we write here. Here in root, we write component what depends about something. Blog post menu here depend not something, but that depend about address, web address. If we call domain address, on app component will be blog post menu through outlet. Because in app component, we have blog post menu left and outlet. But in outlet, we have blog post menu when address is of domain. If address is not domain, if address there is a parameter ID, in that moment, call post, blog post. In position of outlet, where is a blog post menu, it would be blog post when we click on menu. When we choose what we see in detail, we see At home, we see blog post menu. It is a short description. It is every post. And left side, we see only title, like link, like menu. But when we click on some of menu, on some of post, we choose post, we see on the right side, instead of blog post menu, we see blog post. It is single blog post. Can we see that? Here it is. Now we see, okay, I must go through this. We see left, blog post menu left. It is only title. It is like links of title. And we see right blog post menu. It is title, also link, and short description. When we click in some link, we want to see only that post. Here it is. Right, is only that post. Only that post. And here, post one. Here, post one, post two, etc. And left is blog post menu left, and right is a blog post menu, blog post menu, only menu when it is all post with the description, short. But when we choose a single post, it means look at in address. It means in address, I see parameter 4, it is ID 4. We see single post would have a parameter, would have ID 4. Home. And now I can see F12, not here, I don't, must have here from some reason. Okay. Okay, now refresh again. This home admin login, it is in app component. It is in app component, and we always see it. When we click, it is always here. Refresh. Refresh. First rendering finished is blog post menu left. Why? Because that component was go through initial rendering. And when app have initial rendering, blog post menu left have initial rendering, blog post menu have initial rendering. After that, we have use effect of blog post menu left. And in that moment, we see finished alert, finished blog post menu left. Because and the right side, you see, we see app.js 11, blog post menu left 6, and blog post menu 8. It is console, what means that initial rendering go down to blog post menu left, go down from app, and we see 0, and we see empty array. Go down to blog post menu left, we see empty array. Blog post menu, we see empty array. And after blog post menu empty array, we see again blog post menu left use effect, and alert show us blog post menu left finished rendering. And what go from this moment when I said okay? we will show blog post menu start use effect. And we see blog post menu finished rendering. Click, here it is, blog post menu finished rendering. But now, after alert, we have, because alert is the first code, first statement in use effect arrow function body, not happened after alert, would be happening access dot get fetch data from mock server, and after that finished blog post menu rendering, finished, and we have we will have start use effect of app. And after that process of use effect of app, we will see blog post menu full list. We will see app full list, but we must waiting BPML 0 empty and BPML again full list. Now when I click OK, I will see app finished rendering, because now we go in use effect of app, because both components finished rendering through use effect. Finished rendering through use effect. Where BPML after use effect there is a 0, but BPM right side there is a content. Okay. Now app finished rendering. App finished rendering. It is below use effect on app, and after that, when I click OK, I will see now nothing changes on right side in console. Now, when I click OK, I will see BPM full list. And I will see app full. But I will see BPM left empty. And after that, again, full. I will see app finished rendering. Okay, but I must, after this, okay, I must see re-rendering, it means use effect. I must see again alert BPML left finished rendering. Every time when rendering go in use effect, we have alert, because BPML left, blog post menu left, have use effect dependency, dependent about post, because of changed post from 0 to full list. It is because of app re-render, because of app parent, we will have alert. Okay. Blog post menu left finished rendering. And again, blog post menu finished rendering. Okay. Yes. Wait a moment. When app finished rendering, It is below use effect in up. And when go down, when go down, up have full list, but blog post menu left don't see that list and don't go to use effect. And after that, see up full list and re-rendering. Because of that, we have only one blog post menu left rendering, re-rendering now in the last. I said that I will see 2 times. No, I must see only 1 times, because this 0 here, it would be rendering after re-rendering up, must be rendering component. But when we have a post, when happen changes post from in up from 0 to full list, that changes because of dependency activate re-rendering, and we have last blog post menu left alert. Before that, we don't see because didn't activate use effect, and only if use effect is activated, we will see alert. We will see alert. Here it is. It is index, it is up. Look at console log is below declaration. But below use effect inside body, first statement is alert. And it is for every component. For every component, console log, and here is alert. Okay, address of application is below in description. Take care, think about this. I don't know, maybe I would be explaining it 3rd times. Thank you for watching this video.